Witness Notes 2. The Alps, Isère, France. January 2020. After you have read these introductory paragraphs once, you can skip to the new, old content here. If you are listening, then the timestamp is around the 2-minute 45-second mark. Introduction. The word settled to me carries connotations I am keen to avoid. I have never felt settled, or perhaps I cannot recall a time I felt settled. I do not feel settled now, writing this, and I've lived in the same house for 3.5 years. Without even discussing the obvious issues of colonisation, I just don't feel like I could or should settle. Better to keep my constituent parts shook up, agitated perhaps, rather than separating stagnant. Instead, I feel as though I have been travelling for years, maybe because I have not lived in my home nation of Scotland for 8.5 years. Perhaps because I know I won't stay here forever, or maybe because I carry that concept of home in a way which differs from many. More precisely, I still think of myself as a slow traveller, globally feral. Recently, I've been revisiting places through the photographs and words I recorded when my feet crossed their soil. This is a way of reminding myself of where I have been, not just in space and time, but in mind too. It is a wonderful thing to come out of a low and rediscover myself through words I crafted, through the lens of a camera, when memory has wandered in the fog for too long. Thank you, past me. When I first started sharing letters with the world in this fashion, 6 or more years ago, I usually began them with a vignette of where I was, a sort of travel diary mixed with nature observation, locking in the setting for the reader before I spoke of other things, and by so doing ensuring that place fed into the whole. It was a useful device for a reader and myself both, but as these letters were sent to so few readers, and now languish archived behind a paywall, I thought it a shame not to share these snippets again. As such, I am going to share a short series of these sketches accompanied by a photograph from that time, sent to you in date order, beginning with the second eldest. I shall include the above paragraphs in each of the letters in this series, but I shall also include a link at the very start so you can skip ahead once you are familiar with the above words. If you are listening and similarly want to skip, then the timestamp you want to navigate to will be in the same place. Taken without these paragraphs, each is a short read, and I hope you enjoy them. The Alps, Isère, France, January 2020. The silence of snow is thick and cushioned, the light diffused, reflected, refracted, contradictory. Twigs, branches, and trunks are blanketed on one side only, crystal white, creating contrast, highlighting their twisting shapes, calling out their identity to those who know their coded winter pattern. The sky is gunmetal and thick, brown at the edges, rusting clouds silently slipping lower throughout the day, with occasional tickles of flakes tessellating where they fall. Here and there are the traces of those who have already passed, footsteps telling tales we trackers delight in. This is the nursery of tracking. As with wet sand, the details are beautiful. Each trail a story clearly written. We can take these and learn, understand where to look in spring or summer, how the animal moves to avoid a fallen tree or to step over or on a branch. Whispers of a past with another living thing at their end. The mountains are a place I adore. Here in the Alps, the seasons are constantly changing, each major quarter of the year broken down into smaller bites. Winter woodland snows are a delight, something magical, always carrying a hint of Narnia. If a lamppost had appeared along the trail I followed, I would not have been surprised. Finally, if you can afford to, there are currently 2 direct ways to support my work here. The first is to take out a paid subscription, and as it is the midwinter or midsummer season, and to celebrate 6 years of sharing this letter, I'm offering 20% off both monthly and annual subscription plans. If you subscribe at that price, it will lock in for the rest of your subscription for as long as you remain a subscriber. I shall be raising my subscription fees slightly in the new year, so taking advantage of this might make sense. The offer ends mid-January 2026. The second way to support me here is to use my Ko-fi button link to send a tip of any amount. If you enjoyed this letter and wish to share it with others, please do so. I love it when someone shares my work. I also love it when you comment on a piece. Really, really love it. During 2025, I have not been as good at responding to comments as quickly as I would like, but seeing as my word of the year for 2026 is almost certainly going to be communication, I like to think that will soon change. Finally, many thanks for reading. I truly appreciate each and every one of you who does.